Well, at the Gympie Music Muster, and look who I've bumped into, Ashleigh Dallas. Hello.
Hello, Sharnae. How nice is it to be here in the beautiful day at the Gympie Music Muster? It's great.
I know, and you've just been on main stage for a little set.
Yes.
Your big gig is later this afternoon. You open the entertainment on the main stage.
I do. I kick off the entire weekend program of what will be played on the Optus Hill stage. So no pressure. The hands aren't shaking at all thinking about that. But it's, to be honest, I'm taking a bit of time to settle into that thought too of when I've come to the muster, I've dreamt about the chance to play my own set of music on the biggest stage at the festival. So to have that today happen, it feels quite good and also daunting.
And also you've got your family here, Kiwi, and the girls are here. So you've got all the support, plus, of course, your band and your mum and dad as well.
Yeah, everyone's in tow, which is great. The girls are so excited. They've been counting down, Harriet especially, for the muster experience. And it's really lovely that the home crew wanted to be here for, as I said, it's a big moment in the career-wise to get that opportunity to play the stage that so many of our Australian greats have played. So many of them are playing this weekend as well. So, any stage is always grateful to play on, but that one out there, it's going to feel really good.
Now, speaking of big things, you've got something big coming up on September 13th.
I do.
And that is the release of your new album.
Yeah, we have a brand new album, Setting Suns, which is just going to be so nice to have that out in the world. It's been in the pipeline. We started this process early last year, like really early. The songs have been there and getting worked on, and as a writer I haven't stopped writing, which also probably was one part of slowing down that process, but life has thrown some hurdles, which has just meant that the recording process needed to change with the ebb and flow. So now that we're about 4 weeks out from release, that in itself I'm just so excited for. It's been a big team effort from the family, working with Dad again on this record, and we're really excited to get these songs that have been existing in our home and out there for everybody else to connect to.
Because we've heard a few singles released already, but the entirety of the work, what's the meaning of the title Setting Suns?
Yeah, well, this actually, the record started, one of the singles that you've heard is Secondhand Stories, and that was actually in my head as the album title for most of the whole process. Setting Suns is the closing track on the album, and it just feels like it summarizes this chapter of music. I've worked with Dad on this album. We've obviously just sort of talked about as well, put out there in public that Dad has had a diagnosis of Parkinson's, and that's changed the way that I'll create in the future. And Setting Suns feels like it's setting on this set of songs, setting on this sort of work process, because there's a lot of change ahead. Change isn't always, there's paper blowing, sorry if that's across the screen and working you.
That's the pre-order forms for the new merch. We'll get to talking about that soon.
Flying out the door. But
thank you.
It's sorry about that. That's my fault, leaving a folder open in the windy
We'll get to
forest.
talking about the merch and how you can order some of that. That's a great way to bring it into the conversation.
They're flying out. But it feels just really nice that Setting Suns feels everything needs a sunset and a sunrise as well. And I think that's just been my mantra with life, is that you've got to take the light and also the darkness of a sunset and find beauty in amongst it all. And this record for our family has brought that at its absolute core, and banding together and really celebrating this chapter of music is really going to be so emotional and great for our family.
Is it going to be like tough, once it's officially out there? What do you think it's going to be like the day before it officially launches? Well, is that going to be tough?
Well, going off other album releases, the night before always has those like pre-nerve jitters where obviously I believe so much in my music, but you do have those intrusive thoughts creep in and the worry of what are people going to think about this. So with this album though on top, this album feels really emotional for me. So I do think they're going to be quite heightened feelings in that 24 hours before. So if you see me, rocking back and forth, just going, oh my goodness. But I just think for me, my whole perspective as a songwriter and an artist has really changed in the last 12 months especially. I've always been an artist that has written my own songs and shared my own story, and that's been such a big part of what I wanted to do. But I feel like the grounding and the cement of the reason why I do music has really got into a real straight perspective. And I feel like it's highlighted with this next chapter of songs. I feel like the vulnerability is there in these songs as well. I'm just happy to share that sometimes things are great, sometimes things aren't, because we're all real people. And I don't take it as for granted that I have a gift of being able to share stories that hopefully others then can see themselves in. So with this album, there's some hard truths in there of some more vulnerabilities and some realizations of life. And I've seen myself now in a stage where I've had to look at my mum and dad obviously change as well and go, oh God, we're all growing up. We're getting into those chapters of life where I thought I was still probably 15 years back in time. So it's just nice that we have music in all of those emotions to be together. And that's not just as an artist or as a radio. It's also all of our fans out there as well. We all connect, and music's the power of all of that.
Now, I'm looking forward to when we get back to Tamworth, getting you in the 2TM studio and getting you on air, and we can, once the album's out, feature some of those songs and talk a little bit more in depth about it, because I'm really keen and eager to do so. But speaking of fans, there'll be plenty here cheering for Ashleigh Dallas on the main stage this afternoon at the Gympie Music Muster. You've got new merch, so obviously fans love a bit of merch.
Yes, fans do. Well, we're hoping fans still love a bit of merch because we have merch for you. We've got, boho feather shirts. It's all to do with this new album release, Setting Suns. It's all available also on our website, which is, great. Again, we've got CDs, physical CDs, the ones that you can feel and touch and put into a CD player. Which is, it's so nice to have this all come together as a collective. And we've got stubby coolers, travel coffee cups, everything. Harriet's asked, when are we getting colouring in tote bags? So I'm now looking into that.
I like that, because you could do that with the feathers, because I have seen this design. If you follow Ashleigh's socials, you can see the design, because it's got a banjo.
It's got a banjo. That's
banjo
a little hint.
And feathers.
I think people have seen me with my main prime instruments, obviously my singing and my fiddle has been such a big part. But last 12 months, 18 months, the amount of songs I've been writing with my banjo, and I'm just so drawn to it. So, yes, the new design has got our beautiful feathers in all of my grounding colours that I just feel really, good around that, wholesome, and then have that banjo in the middle. It's the first banjo on one of my T-shirts, and it's not going to be the last.
Well, I have to put my pre-order in, because I would like to get one in my hot little hands. Yeah. But it's been so good catching up with you here at the Gympie Muster, Ashleigh, and wish you all the best. I can't wait to see you rocking that main stage. And something else I saw on your socials was an older photo with your dad in the background and a very young Ashleigh on stage. Was that was here at the Muster, wasn't it?
Here at the Muster. So my dad.
Were you singing the Dung Beetle song by Pete Dennehy in that?
I have sang the Dung Beetle song here at the Muster. Will I sing it this weekend? You never know. That's the beauty of the Muster.
Harriet's.
It could be Harriet's.
Guest appearance.
It could be.
Kiwi.
Geez, that would be a great song for Kiwi to sing, actually. You could probably do Petrolhead Flyer too. My dad, so we've had the Muster in our family, conversations since we were kids. My dad actually played the very first Gympie Music Muster. My brother played it up here when he was in the band, the Baileys, and I remember hearing the stories about his time. I played it the first time with Casey Chambers, a very bright-eyed 17-year-old playing main stage in the band for, Case was just incredible. And then over the years, we've come back as a family band and played my set here. We've had a few shoes go AWOL in the mud and had to sit in motels with the blow dry, drying them off. But yeah, it's a big full circle to be back, and my mum are going to be out the front watching today, which is just, even in itself, that's really special. And the band and we just can't wait.
Yeah.
Honestly, we cannot wait. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Brett and Lynette just in the front row. I'm sure they'll be.
It's going to be a bit weird.
They'll be up the front. And you know, listening to what you were just saying, over the years, you've slowly made your way from the back of the stage of being in the band to now you're front and centre. And, you know, given obviously the Dallas history in Australian country music, it is just so phenomenal to see yourself, Ashleigh, paving your own way. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means a lot. And that's what I feel this next chapter is really about I've got all the tools now, thanks to my beautiful family guiding me, you know, 3 generations strong of that country music gene. But this next part is really showing the individual side of Ashy D that's here, that all my family knows there. It's now getting to introduce that to everybody else.
Yeah, well, can't wait. And thank you so much for catching up with us here on 2TM at the Gympie Music Muster.
At the Gympie Music Muster. It's so nice to see you here, Sharnae. It's so good.